Okay. So last session we have started. You will be starting recording from here. Okay. So last session we have started array list, but that was not finished because array list is not about just adding primitive types. Okay. Primitive types. If I am saying, then it does not mean like you are storing integer and string values. Okay. Like what is the need of it doing same thing? Okay. So there usually there are class type or array list. Okay, and if I am talking about class type array list, then of course there may be excel driven data will be there, database driven data will be there, because we are going for the software testing, we are going for the data driven testing, we are going for the keyword driven testing, every approach that we are going to follow in future. So array list, if I am talking about in your college days for interviews, sufficient part was already covered in previous lecture. Now many methods are there, like remove method, remove duplicate method. These are the methods that comes with the array list. Mainly 10 to 20, 15 methods are there. So if I will go and explain each and every method, then it is not possible. You should know the concept, and now it's your responsibility. After this session you should check each and every method, and wherever you have any problem, just comment it there or ping there inside the telegram channel and ask me, right? So like Java has more than 15,000 methods inside their classes, so it is not possible to talk about everything here. Like add method, which is necessary, I covered that. Like remove method, I told you. Similarly here, just we are going to understand what is array list. Last session we have discussed about the array list, how array list can be preferred over the array, right? When we should use array and when should we use the array list, because we know that array list in terms of performance is not better. Why it happens, let's know about it. Suppose I created array list like this. Array list is equal to new array list, and array list comes under which interface? Any one of you want to tell? Yeah, list interface. It comes under list interface, and inside list interface, how many implementing classes for that? One is array list, one is linked list. Now this is important question for interviews. We'll not discuss this linked list today, maybe next session. Okay. So these are some implementing classes for list. Okay. Now if I talk about this array list, so this array list can add data, manipulate data, everything, like, but this is a very important question. You have a particular scenario. Now tell me what, nowadays actually is asking questions category is changed. Like people are changing the way of interview, taking the interview, giving the interview. Also people who are giving the interview also very smart now. Like people generally ask, this is the scenario, like suppose you have a excel sheet and you have this scenario. Now tell me what you will prefer, either array or array list. Okay, so in that case you will answer, sir, I will use array list. He will ask next question to you, why you will use array list here, why not array? Then you will say, sir, here data is not data is not fixed, data size is not fixed. Maybe tomorrow inside this excel sheet more data will be coming. So if I use the array, then how I can know that what amount is data is coming, and then I declare the array size, right? So he will ask next question, okay, suppose I fix that data, then what will you use? Now you will say, sir, then I will go for array, but this is the wrong answer. Now you have to prefer the array list again, because you will say that, sir, this data is in form of this data is fixed, then actually whatever you will get from the Excel sheet, that will be in form of string, but also integer value will be on form of string. Then you have to pass those values, and if these are in double form, then you have to pass inside double. So everything that you have to perform over there, so you have to use the array list in that case, because array, you know that array are also a homogeneous data type. Okay, now he will again drive you with this array list, and he just want to know what about performance, what about the memory safety. So that I am going to talk about. Suppose I declare array list like this. Okay, tomorrow, and here suppose 5 elements added inside this a, 5 elements are added. Okay, suppose in Excel sheet there are 5 rows and multiple columns, and the one row is considered as one element. Suppose 5 elements are added inside inside this array list. Tomorrow one more dynamic value came, like Excel sheet is dynamic. Okay, so one more row came, and you, because your array list is dynamic in nature, it will add, and it will, what it will do, it will add one more element, and total element will be 6. But how internally it will do? Internally array list, what it will do, it will create a dummy object. Okay, dummy object means temporary memory it will create internally, right? Like memory is created, and inside that temporary memory 5 elements will be copied. Previous 5 elements will be copied. Once those 5 elements will be copied, next new coming element will be added inside that temporary memory. Okay, so total 6 elements are stored inside that temporary memory. Okay, and then what it will do, it will delete the previous, well, means previous release, like a had that value 5 value stored. Now it will delete those 5 value, then again copy this 6 value inside this array list, and then delete the temporary one. Okay, so suppose there are thousands of element present. Okay, and one more element comes, then this a will, first 1000 elements will be copied to a temporary memory, then this new one will be added to that temporary memory. Like in that temporary memory total 1001 elements now, then it will delete those thousands from the existing one a, and then copy those 1001 data inside this a. Okay, and then temporary memory will be available for garbage collection. So what will happen, suppose there are 10,000, so one by one it will copy 10,000 elements and then add new one, right? So this means if you have large amount of data, then it will copy inside temporary memory, and then new one will add it to there, then previous one will be deleted, and whatever is stored in temporary memory is copying to this one a, and then previous one is available for garbage collection. So one by one, we know that array list copies one by one data it will store. How much time it will take? That's why performance of the system will be down. This happens in background, you need not to do anything for this array list is designed in a way that internally it behind the scene it works like this. You can go and read out multiple articles written for this. Okay, so what I am telling you here, that array list work in this nature, that the performance of just because of this array list performance will be down. Okay, now you will say, then if the performance is down, then why we will prefer this array list? Of course, just because of dynamic nature. Okay, Now the next question is, then what about the array? Array lists are fixed in size. This is that drawback, but performance wise array list is better because performance of array is better because array doesn't do the same like store inside temporary, because already you have that space available. Suppose you have declared the data size of 50. Okay, suppose you have declared the data size of 50, and then 50 you have stored only 10 elements, so 40 spaces are already there. It does not need to do anything. Okay, suppose 50 first comes, so array will say that I am not available for storing because my size is 50 only. Okay, so this is what we should know before going for any topic, because blindly writing code and blindly writing everything is not good, I think. uh, just because concept you are using, it means you are a not good coder. Okay, so this is behind the scenes that we should know. Okay, now this is about the performance and the memory. So if I will ask you, what are the drawbacks of the array and what are the drawbacks of the array list? If you know the benefits, more importantly you should know the drawbacks also. Okay, so you if you know that okay performance of the system is down, so where performance is the concern for a system, like you go for a railway site. Okay, suppose at 10 a.m. Tatkal tickets gets booked. Okay, and same time the IRCTC site is down. Okay, why? Because thousands of lakhs of user came immediately. Okay, so their performance is concerned. Okay, suppose banking system down, suppose NSE down. If you go for the share market, suppose NSE down, Upstocks down, or the Zerodha app down, then crores rupee are invested for investor. Okay, and in that case performance is major concern. Okay, so what I will say that just before using this, and not blindly trust on me what I am saying, just go and read out article, and of course you can trust on me whatever I'm saying that's correct, but the way I'm explaining you is not the way to explaining in front of interview. I took a lot of time to explain you this thing so that you can understand, but the way of answering in front of interviewers should be different, that you can tell him in one or two lines, and that you have to search. Okay, that you have to search in Google. Okay, now if in my terms if I'll answer that why, when we should prefer array list, when we should prefer the array, then you should answer, sir, performance wise array list is not good, so we should prefer the array. And if my concern is about the memory, then we should go for the array list. Then I'll ask you, why array list is performance why good? Because it, in behind the scenes, it copies and the data inside temporary memory and deletes previous one by one. Is if it will copy, then it will take lot of time to do it because large amount of data will be there. Now don't think about that interviewer doesn't know this, he is too smart. Okay, he will understand easily, and you don't need to uh, say him a long story. Okay, just this. Okay, now I'll talk about class type array list. Okay, what is class type array list? Actually not class type, type array list we said this, type array list. Okay, type array list means there is a class, suppose student. Okay, and now I want to add a student inside the array list. Okay, so how will I do this? Because student will have ID, student will have name, student will have marks. This all will have with a student. Okay, previously you were adding like list dot add 101. Suppose this is id, sorry, list dot add, suppose Vandan, and then list, then you have added one more id, list dot add, suppose 102. Then suppose you have, after that you have added marks, suppose 105 out of 200. Suppose you have added this. Okay, now see, this is the garbage for you, because first is 101, you consider it as id, then you, this is name, then you have added again one id, and then you have added marks, or you can add marks like this also, 200. Now how will you know that this is marks or this is id? Okay, because this is not structured. Structured will be in the way, if I'll add a student, so if I'll ask, tell me the roll number for the, tell me the name for the student id 101, then you should able to tell that one done. Now student will be a class, and I will create a class type array list. Okay, then you will understand it easily. And same way you have to create your assignment. Okay, so carefully watch. Okay, new, I am creating a project, collection, uh, collection tutorial. Guys, whatever I am going to tell you here, you will not easily find over internet. Okay, I'm not saying that I am only the person who knows this. Many people, lakhs of people, even I have learned from somewhere, but you will not find it easily inside internet. So don't think, many people just read out the topic and they search into Google and they learn from there. I know that many people may be doing this, okay, for their explorer. So this will, you will not find easily inside Google or searching somewhere. Class type array list, if you go, then you can search it out. But lots of explanation you will not find in YouTube. Even you can try after this. So please be careful. Whatever you have queries, just ask me. Okay. So I am creating a student class. Okay. And this student class, what I am doing, I am declaring here variables int roll number. Okay. String student name. Okay, these are sufficient. Okay, rest of the variables you can create. The way of using two variables will be same for the others also. Okay, now what I'll do, I will create a parameterized constructor, and I will show you how, why I am creating that. Okay, so just right click, this is the source, right click, after this you will find the source, then generate constructor using fields. Okay, so this is the shortcut, just click on here. Okay, and generate. See, parameterized constructor is generated for you. If you have not attended the last session, then now you are going to face problem when I will explain it, this in further. Okay, so here I think that you know about this. Okay, in last session I have explained this, the last session, what is this super. Okay, so this constructor I have created. Okay, why this class I have created? Because I want to create the array list of class type, I want to add students. Okay, now I will create a main class, add student class, suppose. or student portal. Just I will do this and check the main method. Now what I will do, I will create array list. Array list is equal to al equal to new array list. Let's understand the previous part again and then just import the array list java.util. And if you want to add any number, how can you add? Al dot add 101. Last session I have again I am showing you that I have said whatever you are adding in form of object only. So here you can see object E am adding. Okay, so whatever I am adding primitive type here, internally it gets converted into object. Okay, so this is the primitive type that I add, but I have to now add the object. Okay, and object of what type I have to add? Student type. So just last session I have shown that if you want to restrict inside a string only, then you can give this string, and now it will throw you an error that add argument to match add int string. Okay, because you have given here string and you are trying to add integer. Okay, just you can see here is not applicable for type int, argument int, because you have provide generics here that I want to add string values only inside my array list. If you will not give this, it will consider as parent type, means it can add anything. Okay, so suppose I give here student. Okay, if you want to pass here as well, you can pass. Okay, now what it will say, the method add int is type array list student is not applicable for arguments int, means now you can add only student type. Okay, so if I am talking about student type, where I have clicked, then you can now add only student. And student is what? Student is a class. You all know about that student is a class that I have created now, and this class object how can be created? Suppose I need to create this student, s1 is equal to new student, and suppose I am adding here 101, because you know that this is the parameterized constructor, and last session I told you that if you create a parameterized constructor, then by default the default constructor killed. Okay, and also we don't need that. If you want that default constructor, you can create that manually. Okay, so here this is the parameterized constructor, and also we need this constructor because we have how many values? 2 to pass to add a student. Okay, so first value will be 101, which is the roll number. In the same way, like first argument is integer, second argument is string, so I will add here. Okay, and second argument is string is name. Okay, so I add this one object is created. Now you can add this object inside al dot add s1. Okay, now this student is added to your array list. Suppose I add one more student, student s2 is equal to new student. Okay, so 103 I'll pass here, and suppose I give here Misra. Okay, so this, and I will add again this inside array list s2. Okay, Now student 1 is added inside array list, student 2 is added inside array list. Now I want to print this. Then for first of all I will use normal for loop, right? Okay, for int I is equal to 0, I is less than al dot size, and I hope you understand. Even we had a session also. Guys, you can unmute yourself, and then I am not able. Do we need to create object for a student to add value inside array list? I am coming to that. First, I think the way should be simple to explain. Directly I'll be coming there. Then okay, just wait for that. Okay. Of course we need to create object because we are adding object, but the way of the adding inside array list will be changed. Okay, just I am coming to that. First of all, just understand this, and here if you have any problem, ask question. Just you don't go forward directly. Okay, so here inside I have declared this array list. Student 1 I have created, student 2 I have created object. These two objects are both are added inside array list. So two of objects added. So how, what will the size of array list? Let's print it as sys out, and suppose al dot size. If I print the here, so what will be printed? Size will be returned what? 2. Okay, because I have added two objects, so size will be 2. So this al dot size will be returning 2, so it will be starting from 0 to 1 because it should be less than 2. Okay, so just I will print al dot get I. Okay, let me run it and then explain. Okay, so two objects printed. Doesn't matter what the way of the printing the objects here, I will tell you that, but we can do one thing here. Just right click and source and generate two strings. Okay, I will talk about this later. Just right click and run this. Okay, now you can see student first, roll number 1. Okay, Vandan, and name roll number 101 and name Vandan. Student 2 103, roll number and name Mishra. Okay, so there are two different persons. Okay, so this printed in this way. Okay, now the printing pattern, don't just think about that, I will come to that also. Okay, so if you want to print it in form of if you want to print it in form of the using for each loop, then just comment this. This is the normal for loop. To print it, just for each loop you, and just here print student. Okay, so we have discussed this for each loop in last session. Just use this using for each loop. This is also printed. Again I will explain this for each loop. So I said that you should know what you are going to print, what type. So type is now student. Okay, and you just created object for that, and student is added inside this array list. So you just pass it one by one. This object will give student, one by one object will give to this student, and then it will print that. Okay, and suppose here, just don't use this is to string method, override the object form. Okay, and print in this way. Okay, so currently it was in form collection dot array list, and that it was actually in different form. So it has just created variable by variable declaration here. These two strings override that and did that. You can write your own method here, like printing pattern. you can write your own method. Like if I want to write like this, uh, get public void get data, okay, and here I write like this system.out.println name is plus uh, sorry, first is variable is roll number. Roll number is plus roll number plus one space plus name is plus name. Okay. Here I have used student name. So just call this method student dot get data. Now this student dot get data. Okay. So way of the printing will be changed. First student roll number is 101, name is Vandan, then 103 and name is Misra. Or if you don't want to print like this whole, just to understand whatever message you will give in print in this same way. Whole number and then print. Okay. So here just use this. Okay. So this is actually how you use for loop, how you use for each loop. This all should we know. What we should use the class name here. If you don't know what will be the class name, suppose there is a parent class, can I use here this object? Anybody tell me? One more person will try. Just guys try. Our last session I have already discussed these things. Last session we have I have told everything about this, that what is the parent type, what is the child type, and then I am expecting that you all know, because these are the building blocks of the things I am just using here. Just let me know anybody face problem or search out this thing and then let me know. Just let me tell you what is. Suppose if you are not aware of what is the class type is used. Okay, just like previously I was using string here. Okay, so let me pass here string here as well. Now what I did, I have named given the type is string. Okay, and I am trying to add type of integer, sorry, student. Okay, so it is saying you can add only string values, not the type values which is of student type. Okay, similarly, if I what I was doing, I have given here type integer, the wrapper class, and I was adding like I was trying to add like string. So it was saying you have given the type of integer and you are trying to add string. But what if you don't know what will be added? Integer will be added or the uh, string will be added, because you don't know what data form will be coming from your Excel sheet or what you have to do with that data, right? So if you are not sure about the data, best form is to store what string. So you have given that name string. Now the type is coming of what? Suppose student type is coming. So if you are not sure about the this type, then I said in last session you can add, you can use the object type, because object is the parent type which can absorb any of the type, like object is the super class of the any class of the Java, right? So if I write here extends object, then this is okay. Okay, extends object, because we know about the object class, we can go here and check everything, like object is the parent of all types. Okay, so I said that if you are not sure about, then use the object type, because here currently we are using student type, tomorrow teacher type, tomorrow faculty type, tomorrow VP type, any type may be coming. So object is saying that just don't be panic about that. Just give me the variable whichever you are using. Suppose you are using student, you have added the data type of AL, like this value can also be dynamic. Okay, dynamically can, here it can come the data of the faculty type, data of the student type, data of the other parents type. Okay, so any type can be coming here. So this will be the dynamic, this will be coming from any variable, and that variable can store any type, like parent type, child type, like student type, teacher type, any type it can store. So I said that if you are not sure what type data you have to iterate over, just use the object type, same I am doing here. Okay, so this is not over yet, many questions still left. So next session we will be starting, we will be finishing this array list, and we will be starting uh, the other collection data structures, like set and map. Okay, so you just try it out, just see this has printed, you just need to override the two string, you just need to create here two string, and then it will work. Okay, so also you need to try with the same void get data, and just I have printed, and this will both will work. Whatever program I had written here, you need to try it again and again multiple times, and there will be multiple questions coming, multiple doubts will be coming, and then I will be resolving in next session. Then I will be starting hash set and map. Okay, set and map. Okay.